You ever see a title and thumbnail that just makes you irrationally upset? That's essentially what this video is about. So Saberspark just released his review of Zootopia 2, which I haven't seen for myself yet, but I do plan on doing. Now, I will make this very clear from the jump. This video is not about his opinion on the movie itself, or even about him in general, to be honest, but rather the attitude towards Disney that is presented in the video and how it correlates to this larger trend that I've seen when it comes to speaking about Disney sequels in particular. So apologies if this turns into just a mini rant. But actually, I'm not sorry because this is my channel and fuck you. So let's start from the outside and go inward. The title of the video is, Did Zootopia 2 Just Save Disney Animation? No, the fuck it didn't. I don't need to watch the movie to know that, because every single time Disney releases a new movie that does well financially, or a new movie that satisfies critics and general audiences, this conversation always gets brought back up as if the company was in any dire trouble or struggling with its movie output to begin with. From a financial perspective, Encanto, Elemental, Soul, Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and now Zootopia 2, seeing as how it looks on pace to earn $1 billion at the box office, were all financial wins for Disney. And from the critical perspective, with the exception of Moana 2, every film I just mentioned was met with positive reviews. The reason why it frustrates me that people speak about Disney's movie output as if it needed saving by one movie is that it happens almost every 2 years. The same thing was said about Inside Out 2. People liked it and it did well financially, so this bandwagon was created to push the movie as the quote-unquote savior of Disney animated movies, when they didn't need saving to begin with. And with the exception of the occasional dud, they were always either going to make a financially successful movie, a critically acclaimed movie, or in some cases both. From a logical standpoint, this mentality makes no sense because, and you're not going to believe what I'm about to say, one good movie does not save a studio. A consistent output of financial and critical successes saves a studio. So trying to put that savior label on one movie makes no sense. I'm fully willing to accept the possibility that this may have just been some meme clickbait on Saber's end, but a topical video made by the biggest creator we have was always going to do well anyways, so that argument does nothing for me. And I also find it hard to believe because this is just a consistent mentality that people have every now and then. X movie is saving Disney, X is going to ruin Disney, or Disney is going to fail if it continues to do Y. It's completely unfair to put that label or expectation on this movie. As the great Kendrick once put it,
He is not your savior.
what makes it even more confusing for me is when you view this trend in conjunction with the feelings people have towards sequels, it makes even less sense. I'm sorry, but for how much the cartoon community shits on sequels and remakes for being unoriginal, cash grabby, and taking away space from new stories, I find it super ironic that in the past 2 years, 2 sequels that nobody was necessarily asking for became the quote-unquote saviors of Disney. Because I can guarantee you, the only reason that people don't have a problem with those movies being sequels is because they were well received. I know this because when Moana 2 came out to absolutely bomb negative reviews, the conversation of sequel fatigue and lack of originality came up yet again. So where's that energy for these movies? One could argue that they are different from Disney's other sequel offerings because they aren't sequels of already well-established properties like The Lion King or Toy Story, for example. And to that I say, fine. But where's the line? At what point does a property become too popular to where a sequel or remake is an inherently negative thing? The well-established argument makes even less sense when you consider everything outside of the movie theater itself, because yes, that's important too. Animated movies thrive off merchandise, toys, theme park rides, in the special case of Disney, to generate as much money as possible.
Like Zootopia is so popular in China that there's a dedicated Zootopia land in Shanghai Disney. Like it's that popular, it's insane.
I can say with almost certainty that Inside Out 2 made its fair share of money in merch, and Zootopia will probably too, and I consider that to be the indicator of a well-established franchise. So I ask again, where is the line? The other argument you could make is that the other remakes and sequels and whatnot are all made with the sole purpose of making money. They lack artistic integrity and are as such inherently worse than sequels like Zootopia 2. Fine, then let me ask you this. Would Disney have greenlit Zootopia 2 if they didn't think it was going to make metric fuck tons of money? Same with Inside Out 2. Was that not made with the intention of making money? I'll do you even one better. Extend that to every single movie Disney has made. Ever. Would those have been made if they did not think they were going to make money from it? Just because something is made with the intent of making money does not mean that it is inherently worse than something that was also made with the intent of making money. The only reason the attitude changes from what I've noticed is because the quality of said thing changes. In an alternate universe where the Lion King remakes or Toy Story sequels were good, would people have a problem with the fact that they were made to make money? Of course not. The money argument only pops up to give people more reason to dislike something and to paint whatever property they're talking about as soulless, which I find incredibly disrespectful to the artists, writers, production team, etc., who still had to pour hours of effort into these movies despite them not turning out the best. A YouTuber who makes videos because the videos make them money is not inherently a soulless YouTuber. That same logic should be applied whenever you watch something you don't like. Zootopia 2 was greenlit and made because it was going to make money for Disney, just like everything else they do. And I'd like to give Saber his fair credit since I am using his video as the example, because he actually has a far more nuanced take of the state of Disney sequels than I've seen most people have. So fair play to him.
But I genuinely hope that more of them are allowed to have the craftsmanship and energy of Zootopia 2.
If more people just said that they wanted the sequels themselves to be of a better quality, I wouldn't even be needing to make this video. But as I've pretty extensively covered, that's not what most people take away from the current state of sequel output. And the amount of cognitive dissonance I see whenever it is discussed is insane to me. At the end of the day though, all I'm going to say is that I'm glad the movie is doing well for the sake of the hardworking people who made it, not for Disney, because if you know me, you know that I'm not going to congratulate Disney for anything they do as a company. Fuck Disney. I'm going to see the movie soon. I hope it's as good as everybody says it is. Have a good day, and stop being dumb.